Since the early 80s, Duran Duran have been one of the UK's greatest bands who once stood at the forefront of the new wave revolution. Far from being a manufactured boy band, the talents of Simon Le Bon, Nick Rhodes and the Three Taylors proved they had the songwriting abilities to match their good looks. Churning out dozens of chart successes across their career, they built upon a legacy of iconic music videos that dominated MTV and took the US by storm. Revealing why the synth-pop band are icons above and beyond the new wave era, here are our best Duran Duran songs. Reach Up for the Sunrise. In 2001, the classic five-piece Duran Duran lineup reunited for the first time since 1985, and recorded the band's 11th album Astronaut. Chosen as the album's lead single, Reach Up for the Sunrise was a total blast from the past in more ways than one. An energetic dose of 80s pop nostalgia with an uplifting, anthemic chorus, it quickly took its place among the best Duran Duran songs. Speaking about the song, guitarist Andy Taylor said, "That's one of the things that drives us melodic songs that people can relate to has always been our thing." Lovingly crafted for their aging fanbase, it's remarkable to hear how little Simon Le Bon's voice had changed despite being in the pop game for 20 years at the time. He'd lost none of his passion and sounded like he hadn't aged a day. Careless Memories. Arguably closer to the morbid post-punk of The Cure than the day glow pop of Kajagoogoo, the downbeat pulsating Careless Memories was the second single taken from Duran Duran's debut album in 1981. Scraping into the UK Top 40, it's a fascinating and underrated track that more than deserves a mention. Nick Rhodes' whirling sequencer pattern and Roger Taylor's trance-inducing beat showcases the band's potential to be dark and mysterious. A true enigma among their work, Careless Memories suggests a different path Duran Duran rarely took, one of gloomy post-punk ambience and Robert Smith-esque lyricism. I Don't Want Your Love. With house music striking out in all the late 80s clubs, Duran Duran turned their hand to techno-inspired dance pop on I Don't Want Your Love, a 1989 single with a tinge of funk bursting into Eddie Van Halen-esque soloing courtesy of Chester Kamen on guitar. Despite Duran Duran's former standing as New Romantics, the song is anything but lovelorn, as Le Bon tells the listener he simply isn't interested in romance. By mixing the burgeoning sounds of Chicago house and European dance music with Prince's funk pop formula, it's clear Duran Duran were trying to stay ahead of the musical curve, and the gamble seemed to pay off. I Want Your Love hit number 4 in the US, proving the band still had enough commercial appeal to reach the top 10. Skin Trade. Again showing the influence of Prince, Simon Le Bon gave his best falsetto to Skin Trade, the second single taken from Duran Duran's 1987 album Notorious. Written as a lyrical exposé examining sexual exploitation and female prostitution, and inspired by a Dylan Thomas book, at the time Nick Rhodes sincerely felt Skin Trade was the best thing we've ever written. Expecting it to do even better than their previous single, Rhodes was in for a disappointment. Despite only reaching number 22 in the UK, Skin Trade certainly stands as one of the best Duran Duran songs. Its cool-headed rhythm combined with its immaculate blasts of brass from the Borneo horns truly sets it apart. As a distinguished work of assuredness and maturity, the song deserves to be dug out and reappraised. All She Wants Is. The robotic funk of Duran Duran's 1988 single All She Wants Is continued the electronic dance fusion on the band's fifth album Big Thing, and reached number 9 in the UK. Kept on his toes by hyperactive hi-hats, guitarist Warren Cucurulo squares off against a series of orgasmic yelps with jarring guitar solos which are as angular and dissonant as any post-punk experimentalists. The song's lyrics are fairly oblique, apparently about an aimless girl in clubland who has it all but is unsure of what she wants next. By focusing on the girl's unspecified needs, the oscillating funk rhythm starts off alluringly, erupts noisily before the song reaches its febrile closure. New Moon on Monday. Owing as much to Brian Ferra's sultry vocals as it does to David Bowie's 80s balladry, New Moon on Monday was the second single released from Seven in the Ragged Tiger and became the band's fourth top 10 hit in America. From Le Bon's Roxy music crooning to the jangling guitar tones of its rousing chorus, this dreamlike song sails along ecstatically on a throbbing bass groove. The only thing that let the song down was its cringe-inducing music video in which the band became resistance fighters conspiring to overthrow the militia controlling a quaint French town. Notorious. Performing as a trio for the very first time, Duran Duran's 1986 single Notorious saw producer Nile Rodgers flesh out the band's funk influences, even introducing a brass section, the Borneo horns, to freshen things up. As Simon Le Bon dishes out a veiled attack on ex-guitarist Andy Taylor, John Taylor's ragged bassline gives the song its most memorable hook. Reaching number 2 in the US and number 7 in the UK, the success of Notorious gave this newly slimmed-down Duran Duran lineup cause for optimism, proving to Simon Le Bon, John Taylor and Nick Rhodes that the best Duran Duran songs weren't yet behind them. This single would eventually be sampled on the Notorious' big posthumous gangster rap anthem by hip-hop producer Puff Daddy in 1999. Union of the Snake. Tantalizing the listener with cryptic lyrics rumored to be about anything from demonic possession or tantric sex to falling victim to a dangerous cult, Union of the Snake was the first Duran Duran single to be released from their third album Seven and the Ragged Tiger. Snaking its way into number 3 in both the UK and the US, the song was an intoxicating funk hit that boasts a wailing saxophone solo from Andy Hamilton. Once again setting his sights on MTV, Simon Le Bon spent the music video impersonating Mad Max by traipsing across sand dunes while fleeing strange blue desert creatures. This wouldn't be the last time Duran Duran toyed with a post-apocalyptic aesthetic, largely due to the influence of video director Russell Mulcahy. My Own Way. With its quick speed and an injection of Richard Myhill's disco strings, the band's UK number 14 hit single My Own Way preceded the release of their Rio album by 6 months. With Simon Le Bon improbably basing his lyrics on travel directions to a New York nightclub, the song is a vibrant snapshot of things to come before Duran Duran's brand of funk-laced synthpop brought them widespread fame and glory. Claiming the band Rush released the song in a shallow bid to score a hit, Nick Rhodes held a particular disliking for My Own Way. The Wild Boys. Following director Russell Mulcahy's suggestion to seek inspiration in William Burroughs' 1971 novel The Wild Boys: A Book of the Dead, the resulting 1985 single was an abrasively bombastic dance pop tune that became a UK number 2 hit courtesy of Nile Rodgers' uncompromising production work. The music video for The Wild Boys was a Mad Max-style post-apocalyptic sci-fi extravaganza, apparently acting as Russell Mulcahy's mini-film pitch for what a William S. Burroughs movie adaptation might look like. Russell's associate Marcello Anciana mentions the band wrote the song and Russell did the video based on all the ideas for the film. Duran Duran's star power wasn't quite enough to get the movie bankrolled, even though the video cost $1 million to make.